Hi, I'm John Weeks, and this is the Standard's Tech and Science Daily. Coming up, Joe Biden debuts on TikTok. But first, the UK government is reportedly planning to pay influencers on TikTok to warn migrants and asylum seekers not to travel to Britain in small boats. According to The Times, draft plans show that rappers, comedians, and TV personalities are among those who could be paid up to £5,000 to warn would-be migrants of removal to Rwanda. However, according to The Independent, the Home Office said the document seen by The Times was outdated and it did not recognise the figures. The government has already been paying for social media adverts in France, Belgium, and Albania, warning people not to make dangerous journeys to the UK. A company that makes windows with built-in solar panel technology has secured a crucial fire safety approval, moving it one step closer to bringing its tech to buildings in the UK.
When the light, hits the window, the infrared and the UV light scatters and is redirected to the edges of the window where we are incorporating solar cells, which are then picking up the energy and turning it into electricity.
Martin Deil, CEO of ClearVue Technologies, has been speaking to us about how their solar glass works. He told us as the windows generate electricity, there are a number of options for where that power goes.
So you can either use it to drive some autonomous function within the window itself, like, you may have seen some of these switchable glasses that are coming onto the market where you can switch the transparency with a push of a button on your smartphone. So these could be powered by our energy, or you can of course feed them into the grid or into a series of power banks.
Martin says a fairly modest office building in London could generate 22 megawatts of power each year. He told us if you had them in your home, you could use the windows to do things like charge your phone.
We could incorporate in the framing of the window, a USB-C connector, and then you could just plug in your phone. Obviously, the sun would need to shine at least a little, but certainly that would be very much possible.
He told us he hopes the company will be able to start selling their solar window tech as early as this year. Now, remember that 1,700-year-old egg found in Buckinghamshire that we told you about yesterday? Well, we've tracked down an expert who's currently looking after it and trying to work out what to do with it next.
There's an awful lot more scientific tests could be done to work out the species, to find out if there is still something inside it that's got DNA. We don't know, might do, might not. But all of this kind of stuff needs funding. So we're currently trying to put together a group of kind of the top bods in the field who can actually work out what it needs and what we can do with it without damaging it, because it's incredibly fragile.
Brett Thorn is Keeper of Archaeology at the Discover Bucks Museum in Aylesbury, who said the egg was found in what was a Roman well. He said the fact it was found there is a mystery in itself.
Why were these 3 chicken eggs put into this well? Because these weren't just kind of lost in a corner and forgotten and hidden by a chicken. These were put into a well with coins and some bits of shoe leather, broken shoes and things like that. These were, we think, a votive offering, an offering to the gods or spirits.
The egg still has liquid inside, and scientists want to somehow retrieve that liquid without damaging the shell too much, in the hope it might contain ancient DNA. Brett told us what they could learn from it if DNA is found.
If there's any genetic material inside it, and we don't know, and if we can do the research, that could tell us something about when we know the Romans brought chickens or had chickens in Britain, but this could tell us something about almost 2,000 years or 1,700 years of DNA evolution through humans, as it were, if it's chicken.
The private US moon mission set for a Valentine's Day launch from Florida has been delayed due to fuel issues. Less than 2 hours before liftoff, SpaceX posted on X to say the launch was being scrubbed due to a temperature issue with the methane fuel on the lander. Intuitive Machines' Odysseus lander is now set for launch no earlier than tomorrow, February the 15th, at 6:05 a.m. UK time. If successful, Odysseus could become the first private mission to land intact on the lunar surface. Coming up, how social media is helping young people read more books, and Joe Biden joins TikTok. Stay up to date with the latest tech and science news. Hit follow during the break. Welcome back. The MD of Waterstones, James Daunt, says social media is encouraging young people to read proper paper books. He said social media trends such as BookTok, on TikTok of course, had been hugely positive. He also said that young people are listening to more audiobooks, which is then promoting them to read more. Mr. Daunt, who's also the founder of Daunt Books, said the wider book-selling industry is in a stronger place than a decade ago, when it was threatened by Amazon and the rise of ebooks. Scientists who've been observing great apes' behaviour say the animals like to playfully tease each other, just like humans do. Researchers from the US and Germany analysed chimpanzees, bonobos, gorillas and orangutans, and said these juvenile apes were filmed hair-pulling, poking and body-slamming other members of their group, as well as waving objects repeatedly in front of their faces. They said the teasing was mainly one-sided, with the intention to playfully provoke a response or attract the target's attention. According to the team, this playful teasing in apes suggests the behaviour may have been present in our last common ancestor at least 13 million years ago. And finally, American President Joe Biden has joined TikTok in a bid to connect with young voters ahead of the US election. His campaign launched its account with the username @BidenHQ during the Super Bowl on Sunday. His launch video, captioned "Lol hey guys," saw the 81-year-old answer questions about the game itself. As it stands, Mr. Biden's TikTok account has more than 111,000 followers, and his first video has been viewed more than 8 million times. You're up to date. Come back at 4 o'clock and search for the Standard Podcast for the latest news and analysis. We will be back tomorrow afternoon at 1. See you then.